city manager here, and I am recording episode 2 of Freestylin with the city manager. Just an opportunity for me to talk to you about some thoughts that I have, maybe a few things going on in the city, and maybe a little funny things, a humorous thing. And so I'm going to start off with the humorous thing recently that I became aware of by just hearing about some Facebook chatter that I think was on one of the Facebook pages. And it actually talked about a sign that the city of Enid has put up at Government Springs Park that says, "Stay off the rocks, snakes." And so there was a lot of debate about who the city was actually addressing, who the audience was, and whether it was effective or not, because I think one of the pictures I heard actually showed some snakes sunning on the rocks. So I thought I would just clarify for everybody, that sign is just a public information sign to be aware. There are snakes that live here among us, and some of them live at Government Springs, and some of them live at Meadow Lake, and some of them live other places. And it was intended to be a warning for those that might be concerned or scared about snakes, but I looked into it a little bit more because I was fairly confident that the federal government would have spent probably several $1,000,000 on a study to see whether snakes could comprehend signage or not, and whether they were capable of understanding the English language. And I wasn't able to find that study, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But I think I already know the results. The snakes can't read. So it's not effective for the snakes, but hopefully it's helpful for the public, and that was the purpose of it. Hope you get a kick out of that. Keep off the rocks, snakes. That made my day. So I wanted to share that with everybody in case you didn't see that on Facebook. Again, the snakes just aren't as educated around here as maybe some snakes in other communities. So anyway, I also wanted to tell you I had a great time this past weekend. In particular, I have season tickets along with my wife Denise to watch the Enid Outlaws. And we have an undefeated professional basketball team here in town. And I don't know if that's happened ever. I'm not sure. Some of you guys can fact check me out there. I do know I used to be a season ticket holder for the Oklahoma Storm. I don't recall that they were ever undefeated, but maybe they were. They won the championship one year. And this team, brand new, inaugural season, Enid Outlaws, already 6-0, and they're looking pretty good. They're playing again Sunday night, so you will see me there. Commissioner Scott Orr, I saw you there, and so I know you enjoy basketball as well. And it's a great product. We got some great players out there. I believe I can rattle off some of the names already. Chance Comanche, Wayne Runnels, Lindy Waters, and several other. Charlie Buckets. I mean, there's quite a few. They're all good. And the team's doing well. They're playing another really good team on Sunday. It's the Waco, the team from Waco. I think they're called the Royals. And so I do want to thank Jonathan Reed, who is the owner of the Enid Outlaws, who brought them here and who lives here and has brought this entertainment to us. He's been a pleasure to get to know, and his general manager, Brian Jameson. So I just want to encourage people wondering about things to do. Hey, if you got some time Sunday at 4 o'clock, buy some tickets and go down and watch the basketball game. It's good basketball, and the tickets are really reasonable. And the game lasts about 2.5 hours, and you'll be out of there with the sun still shining on Sunday. So I'll see you there if you're going to be there. I want to talk about stuff going on at the city right now, city business. The budget, it's budget season at City Hall. And so the meeting that we have May the 3rd with our commission, we'll actually seat the new commissioners. We'll sit all 3 of the new commissioners. So Keith Saragusa from Ward 3, Whitney Roberts from Ward 4, and Scott Orr from Ward 6. They will officially become and start their terms Monday. And there's several things on there, but the main event is really talking about the budget. We'll do that in the study session, and we'll talk about some other things, appoint some board members. There's some street renamings for Vance Air Force Base, but the budget is the guiding document that funds the city for a year. It funds all the operations, the personnel, and probably most importantly for everybody, capital projects and things that get done. So I'm pleased to say that right now we're still finalizing the draft that we're going to send out on Friday or maybe even tomorrow to the commissioners and make that available to the public for our discussion Monday. And there is somewhere in the neighborhood, I haven't added all the numbers up, but somewhere in the neighborhood of more than $8 million spent on streets. And we're trying to maximize that number as much as it can be, because we really need to spend, we need to spend at least $10 million. We probably need to spend more than that every year for a long, long, long time to make a big difference here in town. So there are some projects that you'll hear more about Monday. And so pay attention. I'm sure there'll be information coming out not only from the city, but from the newspaper as we conduct that meeting on Monday. I also wanted to mention an event that's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5:30 at the Stride Bank Center in the Grand Ballroom, the city, and everybody's welcome. It's a free event. We're going to recognize and pay our respects to the outgoing commissioners, 4 of them, that have served over the past anywhere from 8 years to a few months, filling in as unpaid, selfless servants for the community who have served as a governing body. And so please come on out. Let them know whether you agreed with them on everything or anything. I think what we can agree on is I have a great deal of respect for their service, and I hope you do as well, because again, they serve selflessly, and this was a trying year that we just went through, and people can debate whether the city made the right decisions or whether somebody did the right thing or not, but I think what's not debatable is everybody did the best they could, made the best decisions they could given the information they had, and again, were passionate and made those decisions for the community. So I'm very proud to say those things and be there tomorrow night with the mayor and the other commissioners to say farewell to Ben Ezell from Ward 3, to Jonathan Waddell from Ward 4, and to David Mason and Jeff Funk from Ward 6. David Mason had to resign from Ward 6 back in December because he had changed and moved wards, and you have to live in the ward you represent. So he had to step down early, and Jeff Funk filled the void until Scott Orr was elected. So we're going to honor those and pay our respects to those 4 people. And so you're welcome to come on out, and I know we'll have some social media footage of that after the event for you to look at. And again, I appreciate all their efforts, and I hope you do too. And let's see, maybe one more thing today in episode 2, civic clubs. Civic clubs are on my mind. I'm a member of 3 of them, I think. Now, part of it is I'm the city manager, so I feel like I'm probably obligated to do some of these things, but I really do enjoy being in all 3 of them. And I was in one of them before I was the city manager, so I'm sure I'll be in one or more of them even when I'm not the city manager. And I would encourage you to consider being a member if you're not already. Civic club membership is something that is not as popular as it used to be, but it's really necessary and helpful. And so clubs like the Rotary Club and the Ambucks and the Kiwanis and the Lions and the JCs and the Civitans, and I'm sure I'm leaving some clubs out, not intentionally, they're all pretty much struggling with membership. At least several of those clubs are. And so I can tell you the Kiwanis in particular need your help. We, the Kiwanis and Kiwanians, in conjunction with other clubs that have helped, or other organizations, nonprofits that have helped the Kiwanis over the past probably 5 to 10 years, have run the Meadow Lake Park rides, and this year will be no different. However, the Kiwanis, and as a Kiwanian, I can speak for them, we need help. So if you are available, if you are interested, you don't even have to be a Kiwanian, but if you want to help run rides this summer, let somebody that is a Kiwanian know, or come to one of our meetings, which is the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of the month at the Stride Bank Center in the Benson Ballroom at noon, noon to 1. So that was on my mind. Let's see, is there anything else? Lots of great things coming. So I know on Monday when I was talking to Derek on the City Management Update, I had said, if Enid was a stock, you should be buying. And I'm doubling down on that now. Buy your stock now. Enid's going up, and great things are happening. Business is picking up, and there's great things coming. So It's a pleasure to spend a few moments here with you today and just say a few things on my mind. And I appreciate being your city manager. You feel free to call me or email me or talk to me about city business anytime you'd like. So I'll be in and around Enid, and I hope to see a lot of you Sunday at that basketball game, because I got a feeling the Outlaws are going to end up being 7-0 after that's over. So see you later, Enid. I'll see you in episode 3 next week.